Mandy so kindly introduced, my name is Ryan Mulcahy, and I'm extremely honored to have been chosen by my classmates today. But had I known that I was going to follow Alan and the Davettes, I would have never accepted. When I was first given this great honor of addressing the graduation ceremony by my classmates several weeks ago, I was faced with the quandary of, what the heck am I going to say to the class who's already said everything? In fact, there's 2 half-finished drafts of other speeches sitting in notebooks somewhere in the war zone that is my bedroom. As I sat and wrestled with what I was going to say to you tonight, I decided it might be easiest just to find one word that describes our class and run with it. So that's what I did. And it was one of the most difficult experiences of my career as an Odyssey student. Even harder than that time we had to tell Mr. Bennett that the cafeteria had run out of bananas. So just try for yourself to sum up this class in one word, and you'll see how hard it actually is. And I think that speaks to just how special this group is. However, as difficult as this task is, I was able to come up with a couple of words to describe this class that I'd like to share with you tonight. I don't think there's anybody graduating tonight who wouldn't agree with me when I say how lucky this class actually is. First off, lucky to have made it this far. But also, lucky to have had the amazing support we've enjoyed all our lives. The simple truth is, we could not walk across the stage tonight had we not had amazing parents to teach us to walk, to pick us up when we fall, to love and nurture us, and to send us on our ways we sit here staring the future straight in the face. We cannot be here tonight without our moms and dads. And perhaps just as important to us making it here tonight are the amazing teachers, administrators, counselors, and faculty we have been so lucky to come into contact with the past 7 years. If it was our parents and guardians who gave us the tools to succeed, it was you, the staff at Odyssey Academy, who supplied the lumber and the supplies we needed to build our success. I cannot thank you enough for all you have done these last 7 years, and I'm sure my classmates don't disagree. Another word that has been used to describe us, nearly since the day we first walked in the door at Hoover Drive 7 years ago, is exceptional. And, while trying oh so hard to be modest, when you look at all we have accomplished, it's hard not to agree with this assessment. We have the highest concentration of IB candidates in Odyssey history. Half of our class has been inducted into the National Honor Society. The number of students graduating with advanced designation or honors tonight is nothing short of exceptional. The number of valedictorians and salutatorians set to walk the stage in a few short moments is nothing short of inspiring, and our graduation rate is nothing short of miraculous. Yes, exceptional may be accurate, but if you ask me, this is an understatement. We were always a class of learners, and not just in the classroom. Barely a day went by in our time together where we didn't learn a brand new and important life lesson. We learned about that thrilling experience of young love, and with that came the hard-earned lesson of first heartbreak. We learned lessons in hard work and determination, and that sometimes the best night's sleep may be only for an hour, but after finishing an extended essay or public policy paper, that lone hour is the sweetest gift in the entire universe. Many of us had our first job experiences during our Odyssey years, where we learned the value of $1, and in turn decided that maybe the best night out with your friends was a night in instead. We learned that yes, all cows are girls, and perhaps most importantly, we learned never to leave Stevie Tagus alone in a room with a bowl full of lemons. We were always a class of gamers, ready to rise to any occasion. Whether it be our sports teams taking home sectional, or even state championships, our masterminds team, captained by a strikingly handsome young Republican, breaking school records and going where no Odyssey team has gone before, or this class's unprecedented 7-year run on the school spirit stick. The Greece Odyssey Academy class of 2013 refused to be beaten. Not even the specter of moving buildings or the pain of consolidation could break us. We showed up every day, ready to prove to a skeptical community what we already knew. You can move us, you can try to change us, but you will never break our spirit. And it is this very spirit, the soul of our class, that has proved so difficult to capture and label with a single word. However, recent events in my own life this past week have caused me to think about one word in particular. A word that is so perfect for this class, and so simple, that it almost seems too easy. Family. 7 years ago, we began our wild roller coaster ride together, not knowing where it would take us, or where we would end up. There was no way of knowing how close we would all eventually become. But standing here today, there can be no denying that that group of awkward preteens that first assembled at 133 Hoover in the September of 2006 would grow into a family so tight that even the Brady Bunch would be jealous. Like most families, we've had the joy of welcoming newcomers into our little Odyssey world, and whether we've known each other for 7 years, 13 years, or just a few short months, our time together has left an unmistakable mark on the very fabric of our lives. I touched on how special this class was earlier in my remarks, and it is this family atmosphere we have created that has made our class all those other things that have been said about us. Only in a family would you be able to tell anybody anything, even if it's not something they necessarily want to hear. Only in a family like ours would arguments over how to pronounce ramen noodles, whether or not Batman has earned the right to be called a superhero, he has, or whether or not it was possible to find 1,000 movies more quotable than the movie Mean Girls, could span the course of multiple years, require the input of teachers, incorporate the use of the dictionary several times over, nearly ruin friendships, and require Austin Van Voorst to spend nearly a month compiling a list of 1,000 movies more quotable than the movie Mean Girls. We even took family vacations together, to Washington, D.C., where Grant and Kara danced their way to glory, and to Disney World, where we learned just how small this world is after all. We fought like brothers and sisters do, and like brothers and sisters, we made up, hopefully never losing sight of what's most important in this life. My mother has a favorite saying about family that applies perfectly to our class. Ma likes to bring this one out when we're on a road trip, deviated off the beaten path a little bit, or after what waits, for those of you who thought you were buying a ticket to see Daniel Day-Lewis and Lincoln tonight, apparently you're getting the King's Speech. Or when we're waiting to be seated at a restaurant after what seems like an eternity. And it usually goes like this. It's okay. We're always okay as long as we're happy, we're healthy, and we're together. And while it's true that some of us may not have always been happy these last 7 years, some of us may not have even always been healthy, but the one thing we always were was together. Like all too many of our classmates, my time at Odyssey has been marked by the tragedy of the loss of loved ones. My uncle in sophomore year, and my grandmother just this past week. It was out of those losses, however, that I was able to learn some of the most powerful lessons that life has to offer. One of the smartest things anybody ever told me was when my grandpa told me in a way that only he could following my uncle's funeral. Buddy, when God closes a door, he opens a window. The window that opened for me that fall, and again, just these past couple of days, was being able to see how special this class is. It's not the grades or the test scores that make us great. It's not the athletic accomplishments, the leads in the musicals, the NISTA scores, or even the Ivy League schools. And it's not even the spirit sticks or the wild beach parties that we throw spur of the moment. It's that pat on the shoulder. The person you trust most in this world, staying up with you all night over the phone when you can't get to sleep, just to say that you're not alone. It's your friends who are just as willing to show up to a concert, a musical, or a sporting game as they are to visit you in the hospital or to go to the wake of a loved one. With that same sense of love and support. It's the harebrained shenanigans and the nights out with the people you love most. It's the things like these that make this the greatest class that Odyssey will and has ever seen. It's the things like these that make us a family. And it's with this love and with this feeling of brotherhood and of family that it falls to me to find a way to say the one word that even our class has never been able to say to each other. Goodbye. For even after we leave here tonight, as we ride into the sunset of our days as classmates, we have to hold on to these bonds that we cherish so much. We can never lose sight of where we come from and the people who've made us. I don't know what the future holds for anybody in this auditorium tonight, but what I do know is that it'll all be worth it as long as we're happy, we're healthy, and we're together, if nothing else but in spirit. It's in the spirit that I leave you with the words of an anonymous Irish poet who wrote this simple blessing of friendship. I wish you not a path devoid of clouds, nor a life on a bed of roses, nor that you might never need regret, nor that you should never feel pain. No, this is not my wish for you. My wish for you is that you might be brave in times of trial, when others lay crosses upon your shoulders, when mountains must be climbed and chasms be crossed, when hope scarce shines through. that every gift God gave you might grow along with you, and let you give the gift of joy to all who care for you, that you might always have a friend who is worth that name, whom you can trust, and hope will be, in times of sadness, will defy the storms of daily life by your side. One more wish for you, that in every hour of joy and pain, you may feel God close to you. This is my wish for you and all who care for you, now and forever. Thank you. God bless the Odyssey class of 2013, and God bless the United States of America.